Ingleru. But we should look up what Squanto's deal is because
you want to know where
I have to, like, my impression. I didn't ask a lot of questions when I was in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't really till college that I started like finding any of curriculum that I learned interesting at all. And even if I did, like, I wouldn't ask anything about it. But I remember thinking, like, wait a minute. They just meet this guy who just happens to speak English, even though these are the first people to, like, arrive in America. Or the first English. But I guess...
Oh my god!
They're probably nowhere near the first English to arrive there, and there had been English for a while, and the Pilgrims, the first Thanksgiving, that takes place way later. I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't know where the first Thanksgiving lies in the timeline of our conquest to kill all of the Native Americans. Like, was it real quick, the first Thanksgiving happening, or was it like...
This is unbelievable.
Pilgrims and English had been there for a while, some colonies were established, and then they're like, time for Thanksgiving.
Okay, we need to sit down, and I'm just going to read the tale of Squanto right here.
Oh boy.
This is interesting. This is horrible.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before you start, is there any sexually transmitted badness that was a part of this story?
No, I don't think there's any STDs.
Then I'm mixing this up with something else.
Okay. Tisquantum, also known as Squanto, so his real name is Tisquantum, was a Pawtuxet man, so his tribe was Pawtuxet, who assisted the Pilgrims after their first winter in what is now Massachusetts. He was integral to their very survival. He was a member of, blah, 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 and during his lifetime he crossed the Atlantic Ocean 6 times, traveling with colonists to London and back. Now that sounds all fine and dandy, but we're going to get into the reasons why he was traveling. Okay. Squanto's date in year of birth are unknown. They say he's either January 1st, 1585, or January 1st, 1592, which is a big difference. It's weird. According to most popular accounts, in 1605, Captain George Weymouth, who was exploring the New England coastline for Thomas Arundel and Henry Ritholesey, 3rd Earl of Southampton, captured Squanto and 4 others and brought them back to England. Weymouth landed in Plymouth and delivered 3 of his captors, including Squanto, to Ferdinando Gorges, governor of the fort at Plymouth. Gorges taught Squanto English so that he might serve as an interpreter on future voyages. Squanto returned to New England in 1614 with an expedition led by Captain John Smith. On his way back to Pawtuxet, Squanto was abducted by Thomas Hunt, one of Smith's lieutenants. Hunt was planning to sell fish, corn, and captured natives in Malaga, Spain. He transported Squanto and a number of other Native Americans to Spain, where he tried to sell them into slavery for 20 pounds apiece. Franciscan friars discovered what Hunt was attempting, so they took Squanto and the other Native Americans to safety. The friars then instructed them in the Catholic faith. Of course, yeah. Squanto persuaded the friars to let him try to return home. So it sounds like he went by himself, which is intense. He reached London, where he lived with John Slaney, a shipbuilder for whom he worked for a few years. Slaney taught Squanto more English. Anyway, and then.
So when does the first Thanksgiving happen?
The first Thanksgiving already happened, I think. No, it didn't.
And so, is he more of like a Paul Bunyan type urban legend that we like to remember more?
No, he definitely helped.
Happy Daffy.
He definitely helped.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's just that's how he knew English, though.
Yeah,
because he was captured.
Yeah.
And then returned.
Okay.
But the sad thing is that when he got back to his home.
Mm-hmm.
All of his pals were dead from smallpox. That was the part I was going to end with. So like
smallpox, the thing we did with the blanket?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So, like, he was immune to it because he had been captured and, like, lived as a kid.
Oh,
like around these people.
No.
So when he got back...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was the end.
That is awful.
Wow. I'm surprised he still helped out.
I'm surprised that... Well...
I mean, I guess why not help out at that point, but...
I guess since I'm curious, I'm gonna... If we don't talk about it now, I'm gonna read up on the smallpox thing after this.
I'm not sure how much of a setup the smallpox thing was, if that's what you're asking. Like, was it just one blanket, or...
Well, it was a lot of blankets, but, I mean... how much of it was intentional, how much wasn't, and why is this fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Was it from watching Unsealed Case Files?
Yes, the plague one, which I
well,
had.
because they talk about the smallpox and blanket thing in like several episodes.
Oh, gotcha.
And, like, it's really fresh in my mind because whatever I was watching that was talking about it a lot.
I had such a field day with the
Unsealed Alien Case Files.
yeah, especially on the plague one.
Fun. Oh yeah.
I was just getting in there on that, and getting in there.
Oh yeah.
Yep, there we go again. Another vernacular. Getting in there means when you are just. Oh boy, Scott.
Oh right. I was mixing that up with being into it.
Yeah,
Because they're similar when they have the word in.
yeah.
Wait.
Can you describe getting in there?
Well, getting in there is when like you just really commit to whatever you're trying to do. You just really go for it. You get in there.
Yeah, or if you're just really successful as well.
Or you're watching someone who's really committing. That's what you say to them. It's like in support.
Yeah, get in there.
Like, yeah. I'm sure that'll probably happen at points, during this run of this game without us even realizing that we're quite exactly doing it.
Get in there. Yeah, it's a good one. Comes from Pokemon, actually. Well, no, it doesn't come from Pokemon.
Yeah, that's right.
Came from me watching Pokemon.
Was it you who said first, or was it your sis?
It was me. I was just because I was telling my sister about it, and that's the first time I used it. Because Meowth was
Getting in there.
getting in there. Yeah, he was trying to get Togepi. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that episode, but Togepi ends up going with Misty. But Meowth finds Togepi for a while and gets this maternal thing going on with it. And it's really sad, actually. It's like the villains always just have to lose because they're villains. But Meowth really shows a lot of care towards Togepi.
Yeah.
He really takes care of it. And then Misty's like, no, you're a villain, so it needs to clearly come with us because we're the good guys, And so they're like, we'll have a fight. Well, Meowth can't really fight too well. And he's got to fight like Onyx and like because all the trainers want it. Brock wants it, Ash wants it, and Misty wants it.
And it draws into like, it kind of draws into attention or fuck, what is the word I'm trying to look for? It truly defines some like the silliness of Pokemon if you actually watch it in a not video game format, because okay, my Meowth beating Onyx, the logistics of that, like, if that were to actually happen, if Pokemon were real, if you were to watch that match, that would be a hell of a spectacle, because even if, your Onyx is level 1 and Meowth was like level 100, I mean,
It can't scratch rocks.
It's basically a cat versus a rock golem.
Right.
Like, any way you slice it,
Right.
And that would be a hell of a matchup.
Well, Meowth, he uses everything he's got, because he's just really outgunned, because he's fighting Pikachu and Onyx, and who's Misty's favorite?
Starmie, she might have used Psyduck.
Yeah, one of those three. I think it was Psyduck.
Fuck!
Because that one's the easy one to, overcome. Psyduck just fails. But, and I think Meowth scratches Pikachu a bunch, actually fights him. So he really loves Togepi. He really wants to take care of this thing. And then Onyx, he uses all his brain power, and he ends up using water because Onyx is weak to water.
How does he use water?
I think he has he finds a way to fill up a bucket.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
See, yeah, the logistics of a real Pokemon battle actually happening. It's that's not an attack, but. I mean, are there rules to Pokemon battles?
There are rules.
That might not fly in a tournament.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Meowth says. Because they're like, wait a second, that's not cool. And he's like, this isn't a tournament. This is just a battle.
Fuck.
And, so you're if you're me, you're fucking cheering for Meowth at this point. He really... And I thought that's the way the episode was headed, because I didn't know Misty had Togepi. This was my first time watching Pokemon. And then Misty comes out with some BS. Oh, but you didn't actually touch Psyduck. Psyduck just didn't even really technically enter the fight because Psyduck, blah blah blah. So take my Starmie. And by that point, Meowth is tired and he just gets beaten. And they're like, well, you can't have it anymore. So he loses Togepi and he weeps a little bit about it. And Then I brought it up to my sister because she was asleep when I was watching that. I was like, oh, you should have seen this last episode. It was awesome. Meowth just got the fuck in there. And I was cheering for him. I was rooting for him. And you know what? It didn't end up well for him because he's a villain. He's a bad guy. But boy, if he ever won my respect by...
Pokemon views the world in black and white.
It really does. It really does. And I'm like, boy, though...
Pokemon Black and White coming out soon.
He won my respect.
Yeah.
And getting in there. And the funny thing is, my sister didn't even ask me what getting in there meant. She just started using it in the exact appropriate way.
Well, if you use it in its context, it is not anything you really need to explain ever. It's just like, this is what getting in there is.
Yeah, yeah. That was...
Okay.
I can't wait till you get the long shot.
It is so hard for me right now to, like, think about what's happening and contribute to a conversation and realize I'm also playing a game.
It doesn't help that we have literally not been talking about the game that much, too. Because it's a little easier to hold up conversation and concentrate on the game when you're talking about the game. And I will say about this place, I always loved the music in the Forest Temple. And by always, I mean as of 2 years ago. It's really creepy.
Yes, it is.
But something I've noticed is, you know, the Sony PlayStation really had an edge on N64 when it comes to music.
Fuck.
Oh yes.
Psych. I come prepared.
I'm glad you. Yeah, you really always do come prepared with this.
I always do.
You always do. I remember when I was playing this, you were always telling me like.
I come to things way super prepared.
You were always telling me when I was playing this last time, you were like, Tyler, go get some more fairies. I was like, fuck that shit. I don't need those. And most of the time I didn't, but there was a lot of added...
30 minutes later.
Most of the time I didn't, but there was usually a lot of added stress and a lot of beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. Which, you know, are typically how my runs tend to go, which you guys will all see. Usually my runs are... They just start off terrible. And then it's just me making my way in my disadvantaged state, like, to the end. Resident Evil.
Definitely springs to mind.
Yeah. We should maybe...
I don't understand what that switch I hit did. I wasn't paying attention when I hit it.
So are you doing okay in this temple so far? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, it's just that, like, I'm like doing it on autopilot, so when I come to a part where I actually get stuck,
right,
gotcha. I snap out of autopilot and like, wait, how did I get here? What was I doing?
What am I doing?
Because there was a switch to hit with arrows right above this door, but it's like, wait, I've already been in here. I didn't need arrows to get in here. So what did hitting that switch do? Because it didn't unlock the. Wait, it didn't unlock. But what? Oh, okay. That's what happened.
Oh, you figured it out?
No, it's just stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. That door and that door both lead to like the same outside garden thing, and then you can go underneath through the mine. So I don't know what hitting the switch did. Oh, it unlocked the door to get there from the back way.
Oh, just a nice little shortcut.
I guess it's a shortcut, but I mean, I haven't figured out what there is to do from that side yet, because I can't get that box. Wait a minute. Oh, God. Hold on. Is it some bullshit? Oh, thought maybe there'd be a switch over this thing. But there might be a switch over the other door on the backside, so I'll have to remember that when I go in there.
I think it's cool that the Forest Temple has an open air place.
As a what?
Oh, open air.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, in the garden right now,
Yeah.
you look up, you're just actually outside.
Yeah.
It's unique because usually dungeons are just dungeons.
So, like, yeah, if it were Skyrim, I could get on Epona, gallop at a 90-degree angle up the mountain, and enter the garden.
Yeah. I wonder what instrument that is. Doesn't it sound more like, kind of like, speaking of Native Americans, doesn't it sound like one of those Native American flutes or something? Like wooden...
Yeah, I could see that. I was thinking it sounded like a string instrument, but it's hard. I think whatever it is, it's a synthesized attempt at something.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if
it
it's a
definitely could be
synthesized attempt.
strings with some.
Yeah. But I also think that whatever it is, they're like putting it through a filter or doing something like that.
I would say they're definitely putting it through some sort of filter, which is why, like, even though it has this tone that doesn't sound string-like at all with the kind of the fluctuation of it, but it could definitely be strings with a filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could.
Well, that's really inconvenient.
I just wonder. Then I wonder, like, what instrument in real life would. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of instruments in life. Like we only really use guitars, bass guitars, drums.
Oh yeah.
And like the common orchestra stuff, like clarinets but there's just like a huge amount of
yes,
like
didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo. Basically, I guess by definition, anything that can make tones at a consistent basis is an instrument. So yeah. So of course, there's a lot of
man banging on rocks.
Yeah. I really want to get one of Picard's flutes.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm gonna try this one more time, even though I'm pretty sure it's set up so that you're specifically not supposed to be able to do exactly what I want to do. Because Navi's like, oh, there's a thing over here. Ah, damn it.
Man, it's so close.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing.
It's so close. It's
so
almost
tantalizingly close that I'm just like.
You almost think you can do it.
I'm pretty sure that if I spent a really long time on it, there's probably some way to actually do that.
Maybe so. Oh, I see. You're supposed to drop off from that door.
But I just mean like sequence breaking. I'm sure that there's probably a way to